The Bible says that God realized that it wasn't good for man to be alone, and then God went ahead to create animals. And the Bible says whatsoever he called them was what they became. But for man, there was no help that was suitable for him. I believe that part of God creating the animals first before creating Eve was to train the senses of Adam to be able to define or discern what is compatible and on the same level of essence with him versus what he's called to name. Many people end up marrying the animals they were called to name and give identity, as opposed to the one that is on the same level of essence with them. Just because you have power and influence over the person's life to convert them and to make them become, doesn't mean you're supposed to be yoked with them. You're supposed to marry the essence of your essence, the pillar that is on the same level of pillar with you. So you are called to give the animal and the reptiles their name, their essence, and their identity, but you're not called to be yoked to them. So it's very important to know the difference between the two. Another thing you have to understand is that, when God gave the children of Israel their inheritance, one of the things he consistently said to them were the nations they were not meant to engage with and the nations they were not meant to marry into. And so when you look at the patriarchs of old, the first foundational people who received the covenant, they were very insistent on who their children married. And would even say, swear to me that you will not let my son take a wife from these people or that people, because who you yoke yourself with can determine the strength of the covenant and how it is transferred to generations and eventually manifested in time. So God was always very careful about that. It's not because he hated the other people of the earth, but because he knew that if the covenant could remain pure through time, in its fullness, it could save everybody. So it wasn't God condemning the other tribes. It was God actually ensuring their salvation in the future by maintaining the purity of the covenant.